Sukuna isn't at full power, not even close. And if you think we've already seen the strongest version of Sukuna, then you've completely misunderstood what he really is. Because Sukuna is not just powerful, he is incomplete. And the scariest part, the story has already shown us what happens when he gets closer to his true form. We often hear Sukuna being called the king of curses, the strongest sorcerer in history. But there's a massive problem with that statement, because every time we've seen Sukuna fight, he's been inside someone else's body. First, Yuji Tadori, then Megumi Fushiguro. And that changes everything, because a vessel is not power, it's limitation. Think about it like this. Even at 20 fingers, Sukuna is still using the body of a human teenager. Bones, muscles, nerves. All designed for a normal sorcerer. Not for something like Sukuna, which means no matter how much cursed energy he has, his output is capped. His movements are restricted. His true potential locked behind the limits of the body he inhabits. So what we've been watching this entire time is not Sukuna at his peak, it's Sukuna being nerfed. Now, let's go back to the Heian Era, the golden age of Jujutsu, a time when sorcerers were at their absolute strongest. And yet, this was the era where Sukuna dominated everything. Not just survived, dominated. He wasn't fighting weak enemies. He was fighting the best of the best, entire squads of elite sorcerers. Groups like the 5 Void Generals, the Deshu Elite. These weren't random fighters. These were the peak of Jujutsu society. And Sukuna wiped them out, alone. That's not strength, that's a natural disaster. And this is where the true form becomes important. Because the Sukuna that defeated all of them was not human. He had 4 arms, 2 faces, a body that didn't follow human design. And that wasn't just for intimidation, that was optimization. In Jujutsu Kaisen, combat is all about efficiency. How fast you can activate techniques, how quickly you can react, how many actions you can perform at once. Now imagine this, 4 arms. That means Sukuna can fight in close combat, while simultaneously forming hand signs for a technique at the same time. No delay, no trade-off. Now add 2 mouths, which means he can chant while attacking, activate cursed, techniques faster, stack abilities without losing time. Let's make this simple. Imagine Sukuna fighting someone like Maki. With 2 arms, he's clashing in pure physical combat with the other 2. He's preparing a world-cutting dismantle. And before you even realize what's happening, it's already too late. That's the difference. Sukuna doesn't just overpower his opponents, he overwhelms the system itself. But here's where things get even more insane. Because Sukuna's power isn't just physical, it's technical. There's something strange about his abilities, something we still don't fully understand. The open technique, that moment when Sukuna uses fire, completely different from his usual slashing abilities. Which raises a huge question. Why does Sukuna have multiple, completely different techniques? And this leads to one of the most disturbing theories. What if Sukuna doesn't just use techniques? What if he stores them? Like a chef preparing a meal. Cleave and dismantle, just the starter. Fire arrow, another dish. In his true form, the body that can handle all of it at once. And then there are his cursed tools. Heighten, Kamutoki, weapons tied to lightning and other elements. Ask yourself this, why would the strongest sorcerer in history need weapons? Unless his true form is designed to use everything at the same time. Techniques, weapons, domain, all layered together. And now we get to the most important comparison. Sukuna versus modern sorcerers. People like Gojo. the strongest of today. But here's the real question. Would Gojo stand a chance against Sukuna in his true Heian form? A Sukuna with 4 arms, better hand-to-hand combat, faster domain activation, multiple techniques running simultaneously. Even Gojo's infinity would be under pressure because Sukuna wouldn't just attack once, he would attack from multiple angles at the same time. And that's something no modern sorcerer is built to handle. And we've already seen a glimpse of this evolution during the fight with Kashimo. That transformation, that shift in his body, that wasn't random. That was the beginning. The moment Sukuna started moving closer to what he really is. And if that transformation continues, then what we've seen so far is nothing. Because Sukuna isn't just trying to win, he's returning. Returning to a form that once ruled the strongest era in history. A form that didn't follow rules, didn't follow limits, didn't follow logic. And when that form fully comes back, this isn't a battle anymore. It's extinction. Because Sukuna at full power isn't something you defeat. It's something you survive. And right now, no one is ready for that. Not Yuji, not the strongest sorcerers, no, one. Because this isn't Sukuna at his peak. This is Sukuna being held back. And when that limit finally breaks, Jujutsu Kaisen won't just change, it will collapse. And if this is really Sukuna's true form, then the real question isn't how he will be defeated, it's who will survive him. Because the moment Sukuna reaches 100%, this story doesn't have a happy ending. It has a winner. So tell me this, do you think anyone in Jujutsu Kaisen can actually stop Sukuna at full power? Or is this world already lost? And if you want more theories like this, subscribe to Canon Breaker, because we're just getting started.